Hello everybody, this is Movies With Manny here. I'm probably going to stop doing that. I want to just introduce, my name's Manny. Here we go, this is it. So, right now, as you can see, it's kind of like deja vu again, like our Star Wars review. Special guest, Scott Schreiner here.
Hi everybody, glad to be back on Movies with Manny.
Now, you want to know something that's very beautiful? He is a Trekkie and a Star Wars fan. You don't get the best of both worlds like that. You're either a Trekkie fan or a Star Wars fan.
That's right.
Thankfully,
I don't discriminate.
I don't discriminate either. I love both. So today we're here to discuss Star Trek Beyond, the new Star Trek movie, clearly directed by Justin Lin.
Brand new movie.
Featuring all the other actors, which is beautiful to see all the reoccurring actors come back in.
And we won't give spoilers.
Oh yeah,
so if you haven't seen it, it's okay.
And this will not be as long as the Star Wars retrospective we did all the way in December. That was Star Wars. That was just big. We had to go all out. It was Star Wars. So
we'll keep this one to 2 hours. Just kidding.
2.5, I was thinking. So first things first, Scott. What did you think of the movie? This is your, how many times have you seen it?
This is actually my third time to see it, and it's been out for 5 days.
You know what? That's okay. That's how I was with Star Wars.
Yeah.
And Dark Knight Rises, and a bunch of them. So.
But I love this movie. I am a big Star Trek fan since I was 8 years old, and this is a terrific example of what you want from Star Trek. I think the best way I can sum it up is, in my opinion, any kind of Star Trek fan that you are, you're going to get something that you like from this. If you're somebody who's been a fan of just these recent 3 movies with this new crew and this new timeline, there's a lot of stuff that you're going to like. They build on those relationships, and you get a lot of the same great action and special effects and storytelling. But if you're somebody that's been a Star Trek fan since 1966, 50 years ago when it started, this story is very much in the vein of an episode of the original series. So there's lots to love, lots of little blink if you miss them, little references that they make to all the previous Star Trek shows. And you don't have to be a fan, because it doesn't matter if you don't know what they're talking about. Quick references, but they're fun if you're a fan.
First going into it, I was a little skeptical because of the first trailer that came out, but then it seemed like Justin Lin was doing his Fast and Furious routine on Star Trek, and I was thinking
Raising my brows.
Yeah, that's not how I want the Star Trek franchise to go. I didn't watch any other trailer. I just saw that one. So going into this, I was a little skeptical. I didn't want it to be Fast and Furious with Star Trek taped to its name, but it was Star Trek, and it was probably the most fun Star Trek, and it was the most, like you said, TV episode Star Trek. Like the first one, it felt like a real, like the Star Trek the movie. In the Darkness was very dark, and it felt like a villain piece, especially with Benedict Cumberbatch, and just felt like really dark and just gritty. And then this one, it really did feel like it was going back to the roots of what Star Trek is.
It's a great way to put it.
And TV, and the TV series with William Shatner. And there's, like he said, I just love the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies, but I'm going to go back and of course watch all the other ones in a given time, because
I love hearing that.
Yeah, it's cool because it's kind of the same thing as Star Wars. You have a new Star Trek movie that kind of introduces a new generation to the name of Star Trek, when it normally wouldn't have been in their minds at all. So it was very good in that standpoint.
You know what you're saying about the trailer for this movie, the first trailer that they released like 6 months ago, where you had, it was really quick, and there was a lot of action, and they were playing the Beastie Boys, and people were thinking, this looks like, you say, like a little Fast and the Furious rather than Star Trek. And I'm happy to say, though, without giving any spoilers, that first of all, there's more to the movie than that.
Yeah,
definitely. But also, they weren't using that Beastie Boys song randomly in the trailer. There's a reason for it. They knew what they were doing, and it's a really fun reason.
Trust me, they know what they're doing with the marketing. Not with that first trailer a little bit, but yeah. And also I want to say, it's really cool that a lot of the characters in this, like Sulu and Chekhov, and a lot of the background characters with the crew, it really does focus on a lot of them. There's a lot of banter between Spock and McCoy, which is really cool. Chekhov has a lot bigger role in this, and also given Antoine Yelchin.
May he
and his passing. So it was really cool to see all these different characters kind of get their own star of fame in the movie, because in the other two I felt like it was just Spock and Kirk and Uhura and just those three tackling on whatever was going on.
I am so glad you brought that. The characters, that's one of the real strengths of Star Trek Beyond, the new movie. I think more than any of the previous two, this new series of movies, I think this one nails the characters more than the other two do even. And the other two did nail them as well. I mean, one of J.J. Abrams' many things that he brought to Star Trek was he managed to do the impossible. He managed to, back in 2009, his first Star Trek movie, he managed to cast these iconic roles with new actors, and he got them all perfectly cast. And now that we're on their third movie together, they are, they've arrived at the point where they're on their 5-year mission, which is what the original series was about, and they've grown into their roles. And like you say, the characters that are not, Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, or they've all got really significant things to do in this one, and they all feel like real people, and they feel like a crew, and that's what Star Trek's about. It's about a great theme of unity.
There's a lot of scenes where they cut to a couple characters in one situation, cut back to characters in these and these. So there's 3 different ones, and then there was a new character. Her name was Jayla Prey. I don't know her actual name, but she was in Kingsman.
Sophia Boutella. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but she was great in Kingsman, and she is fantastic in Star Trek.
Yeah, and the one also thing I wanted to point out was it's cool to see that there's new characters coming in that really deliver. So the first Star Trek, Eric Bana was alright.
Good actor, underwritten character.
I thought he was just a little underdeveloped. And then Cumberbatch, he was excellent, and given what was going on and how, I'm sure everybody's seen In the Darkness by now, and how he's Khan and everything, it was excellent. And so, you know what? It's been a couple years, so I'm sorry. And then, of course, this one, they really delivered a good villain. I was very scared about that. It really needed an edge and more stakes, and definitely a really good developed
great actor. And
Idris Elba, excellent. He really delivered it, and he really gave it all he got. And you can tell in his powerful acting, there's some really powerful scenes involving him, and more towards the end, and he just delivers a great character.
It's an interesting role, isn't it?
It really is.
You can't really. There's very little that we can tell you about this villain without giving anything away, so I won't give anything away. But suffice to say, this is a guy who is not all he seems when you first meet him. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on with this guy. And a lot of parallels between him and Kirk, which is great. And like you said, the Spock and McCoy stuff in this movie is better than ever, because that's one of the great relationships of Star Trek is Spock and McCoy. And Chris Pine has never been better.
Yeah, he delivers it. He delivers it excellently. I love Chris Pine as Kirk. It's amazing, and it's also beautiful to have Simon Pegg behind, kind of. Especially, I know that he's a big Star Trek fan, so him being able to kind of understand the universe of Star Trek and everything that's gone on in the past, and really write about what he knows, and kind of figuring these characters out and knowing what they do, who they are, and creating some hilarious banter. This is probably the funniest of the bunch.
There's a lot of laughs.
It's hilarious.
The one thing in common that the really standout Star Trek movies have, is that they bring new fans into Star Trek. So I'm thinking, I gotta be objective here, because I really love the movie. Will Star Trek Beyond do that? What do you think? You think it'll bring new fans in?
I believe so, due to the fact that, as I'm posing for myself, I gotten into Star Trek from these new movies, and Star Trek Beyond especially. It really touches on the beautifulness and the lightness of the whole series. So I believe if I was affected by this and how I want to see more and go deeper into the Star Trek world, I can only imagine there's a bunch of other people that feel the exact same way. For how much I'm a big Star Wars fan, I think Star Trek should last forever, because it really is.
Years
yeah, it really, the legacy definitely should continue. I think it's a really, really, really fun new sci-fi adventure series that just keeps on just giving it to the fans and giving it to the new fans. So I think it's definitely something that a lot of new people who are just brushing on the topic of Star Trek will definitely dive into.
I'm glad to hear you say that, because the ones that, like Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, Star Trek: First Contact, the 2009 one, those are the ones that definitely brought. Those are like the crossover movies, you know.
Yeah.
They brought new fans, and this one, I hope you're right that it will. My sense with it, with Star Trek Beyond, is that it'll make the fans happy, and there are a lot of them, so that's great. I hope it'll bring new ones, and I like what you're saying. I'm energized by that. One thing I'll say about Star Trek, and then I'll stop talking.
Sure.
Is like right now it's 50th anniversary. It's been around for 50 years. And I think it still is figuring out what it wants to be and what it wants to give to people. There have been 5 TV shows and there are 13 movies, and now they've just announced that there's a new TV show next year called Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Star Trek, I just get the sense that it's on the cusp of, they're finally going to figure out, like, as a franchise, what do we want to be going forward? Like, do we want to be like Star Wars or Marvel, where we've got TV shows and movies and all these interconnecting things going on? They're all part of the same story. Do we want to be DC, where we've got TV shows that are in a completely different world than the movies? Or I think that we're going to be seeing very soon what Star Trek's answer to that question is. Like, I don't know what it is yet, but I like what they're doing.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. Yeah. That's exactly. I didn't even think about it until now, so that's a great point. Definitely.
That's why I'm here, to make great points. And listen to your great points.
You know, that great points. Yeah. So, anyways, I absolutely adored the film. Not my favorite of the series. I loved the first 2 so much that it was kind of uncomparable to compare this to the other 2. But still, that's not distinguishing this from the rest. It's a great film, and I think everybody should go and see it this weekend. Support it, definitely. It has a great set of hands behind it. You enjoyed it as well.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I loved it.
More Star Trek, please. More Star Wars. I love the way movies are coming.
Hopefully we'll be back here for Rogue One.
Oh, we will. And we can figure out some other ones to do in between as well. So, you know what? Thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you for having me on Movies with Manny.
No, you know what? It's a crappy show, but with some excellent people.
Excellent.
My name is Manny.
Love to be part of the Crap Fest.
You know what? Hey. This Crap Fest is a thing that all you want to be a part of too. Because why would you be watching if you didn't want it? I'm Manny. I'm Movies with Manny. I don't know what I'm saying. I can't do the Vulcan salute thingy.
That's pretty. There we go.
I can't. There we go.
Hey. You can't hold it. Very nice.
There you go, guys. Have a good one.